Tim, my dear son, this is going to sound strange. The men in this family have always had the ability to travel in time.
Wow.
It is a comedy about love and time travel. And then sometimes when I'm feeling confident, I say it's about love, time travel, and the meaning of life.
This is such a weird joke.
It's not a joke.
If it's true, which it isn't.
Although it is.
But if it was, which it's not.
Which it is.
How would I actually...
You go into a dark place, clench your fists, think of the moment you're going to, and you'll find yourself there.
When we first meet Tim, he's a young man, he's 21. His base level is pretty happy.
Tim is a very sort of normal chap going through life with just about the same level of confidence that most of us can muster.
He is besieged by self-doubt, particularly in the world of women.
Oh no!
You have to use it for things that you really think will make your life the way you want it to be. Come on, really think about this.
It would be just great if it could help me get a girlfriend.
Wow.
I'm Tim.
Mary.
That initial spark of what happens between them is so special, it's so natural. It was the perfect meeting. If you tried to make that more perfect, you would fail.
When she meets Tim, she blossoms, and she's so grateful to hit it off with someone. I hope I see you again.
You will.
Okay.
The biggest thing that's ever happened to him is this person loving him back immediately. And the time travel thing destroys all that. It turns it on its head because he uses it too freely.
You have to be very careful when you use it. The butterfly effect thing, that's a real recipe for disaster.
So he has to go about trying to find Mary in a normal way, not in a time travel way. It's so good to see you.
We've never met before.
Oh no.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Then he's got to try and use it again to kind of put right the wrongs. I'm Tim.
I'm Mary.
I love your eyes.
Do you?
I love the rest of your face too. I haven't even looked further down, but I'm sure it's all fantastic.
Time travel's so romantic. It pulls on that idealistic side of us and dreamer part of you. And somehow he gets into a lot of trouble still. Yeah.
Some people write about things that are distant to them, and some people write about things that are really close to them, and I write about here.
I think the film is probably the most personal one he's written. First time I met him, he told me it was the last one he was going to direct. And it was a real shock, but I think it's for the same reasons. I mean, what they talk about in the film, family and making time to enjoy and appreciate the short amount of time that you have.
It really is my first film about family. It's as much to do with a brother and a sister and a father and a mother as it is to do with love.
I resist calling them odd, because actually what they are is probably less odd than a lot of families. A lot of families are odd.
Wow! I'm so good without the ball. Wow!
His father and him have a real kind of nice relationship. His mother's a little bit more strict, very supportive and all the rest of it, but can be a little bit cutting and is a little bit strange.
You were such an ugly baby. I remember the first time I saw you, I thank God we were in driving distance of London Zoo.
His sister, Kit Kat, who he's very, very close to, and they have kind of a mad relationship because she's a little bit mad herself.
Happy New Year, everybody. She really does seem to live moment to moment. She embraces things like nature and family and fun.
I always thought of her as being, you know, Kathy or Kate Bush from Wuthering Heights, never wearing any shoes. And then in order to contrast most with her, this beloved uncle in his tweed suit and tie.
He's probably on some level clever, but he's not very present. He sort of sits there and is constantly surprised by the world and by the fact that things are going on and has to be reminded of things. I've got an important announcement to make. We've decided, after a little bit of thought, to get married.
That's wonderful news! Who are you getting married to?
To Mary? Over there.
Oh, thank God for that. Jolly embarrassing if it had been another girl, imagine that.
You can definitely see how close they are. You know, that would translate into him wanting that for himself.
One of the things we deliberately did when we were making the movie is get the family to be friends. So we had a couple of days where they just hung around together.
He kind of became a little family unit for a while. There was a huge amount of warmth on set. Lindsay and Bill were these, you know, as the parents, are just these amazing people. Every day they're on set, people are just happy that they're there. Because if either of those two people smiles, everybody feels a little bit better, you know, that sort of way.
You do end up writing about subjects that intrigue you, and I've lost both my parents since I made my last movie, and so that issue of the quality of time spent with your parents has been very much on my mind. So it seems as though this issue that's so important to me in real life sort of crept in and infused the movie. The father-son aspect of the movie has come as a sort of surprise to me. When people see the finished film, it seems almost to be the core of the film, because I thought I was writing a time travel film with a lot of romance in it, and it turns out that I've written a father-son film.
So you're saying that you and Grandad and his brothers could all travel back in time?
Absolutely.
Him and his father. They love each other. They have this incredibly close connection that evolves over the film because they're the only two people who know about this time travel thing.
Dad, he always seemed to have time on his hands. After giving up teaching university students on his 50th birthday, he was eternally available for a leisurely chat or to let me win at table tennis.
His father and him have a real kind of nice relationship and kind of talk about things, and you know, very loving, very warm, but definitely a father-son thing. They're not like necessarily full friends just yet. There's still the father-son thing going on.
Don't call too often, your mother doesn't like to be disturbed.
The sort of key moment in the movie is when it's suddenly revealed that the whole lifestyle of the dad, that what seemed like a casual way of being, is in fact an enormously deliberate choice to live his life just in the texture of his family.
I'm not particularly proud of many things in my life, but I am very proud to be the father of my son.
My dad.
My son.
I don't get many things right the first time. In fact, I am told that a lot. Now I know all the wrong turns, the stumbles and falls brought me here.
Pop music has always been central not only to the finished films I've made, but actually to the process.
The song The Luckiest was always in my mind. I always, when I write, listen to music, and The Luckiest was the first song I started listening to. This very remarkable idea that just having happy love in your life makes you the luckiest man in the world. So the idea that Ben Folds has come out and done a new version of The Luckiest for the film is a dream come true. I've always just been intrigued by the truth of what he says, and I was thrilled when I actually met him and he said that The Luckiest is one of the songs he's most proud of and one of what he considers, you know, his real love song. There's a feeling that the emotion is in despite of himself, that he doesn't want to get emotional, it's not sentimental, and through it comes the deep feeling. And I think it's that feeling that you're dealing with an incredibly clever mind and a great musician, sort of finding the perfect balance and expressing his emotions.
If I'd seen this movie and they said to write a song to the movie, it wouldn't have been this. You don't write like that. Like, this is what happens when you bring stuff together that's meant to be together.
I am the luckiest.
It was nice for me, I think, in this case, to be able to write about my world, but to inhabit it actually with two people who were not from my world.
I'm gonna go into the bedroom and put on my new pajamas, and then in a minute you can come in and take them off.
I'm sure it'll be better next time.
The Cartesian world holds a mirror up to all of us as well, and you know, so that the audience absolutely can see themselves, all their own lives, all their own emotions, and all the rest of it in terms of the work that he's doing. And quite often he's also stating the obvious, but he does it in an absolutely brilliant way.
My parents are in town. They're visiting, and they're coming around.
When?
Now.
Now.
So you should probably put on something else.
His films are exactly like Richard. I mean, full of heart and full of love and full of generosity.
Can't cut there.
He's plugged into people's hearts. He just is. He is talking about things that most people deal with.
I am so uninterested in a life without your father. Mary, well, let's make some tea.
His own idealism about the world, I think, is what informs the good-hearted, loving nature of his romantic comedies.
It's your first day and you're already having to get used to him, whereas the beginning of love.
I've never heard as many nice things about a person as I have about Richard before having even met him.
Richard creates the most amazing environment because it just allows you to have so much fun and play with everything you're doing, which you have to.
Just try and keep you happy.
No film is without this worry that, you know, is it working and are we doing the right things and making the right choices and all that sort of stuff. But like, everybody hung out and there was a lot of laughter and a lot of sunshine and a lot of people getting on. And Richard just really brings that sense of happiness to set. So I'll be very sad if it's the last film he does, but I'll understand.
Lovely. And cut.